Hey, welcome back. So in this next video we're going to model the teeth and the tongues and the inside of the mouth. Now it can have very different style depending on the style of your character. Obviously ours is quite cartoony, but we are going to have separated teeth. Sometimes people just have just a white line, and it really depends on the style of your character. We do need to sort out the shape of the inner mouth, the mouth bag, so it needs to be bigger, and I'll show you a quick way we can deal with that. At the moment the body is on a locked layer. If you remember here, it's locked because we've got reference on, and I want to put the hair on its own layer and hide that as well. So let's find the scalp hair, which is here, and I'm going to move it into our hair group here. Select all the hair, layers, create layer from selected, and I'm going to call this hair. Oh, and there you go. It says hair already exists because we're using it here, which like I mentioned in the last video. So I'm just going to add an L for layer afterwards. You can call it whatever you want, and I'm going to hide that so it's out of our way now. And now also I'm going to save our scene as keep going up in increments. So let's save this as version 5. It's really good to good practice to do that in any production. Okay, so here we go. So now what we can do is start working on the teeth and get this mouth bag sorted. We want to be able to see what we're doing. It's very obviously at the moment it'd be so hard to get in here and model. So there's a little trick we can do here. What we're going to do is select the polygons. I'm just going to turn symmetry on. I just want to show you something here. So if I select the polygons here and unselect them in the back, you can see we've got just what we want selected. So now if you go up to show, isolate selected, and then click view selected, you'll only get what you've got selected. Now you can work on it. Now you notice it's actually selected ones further away that we didn't have selected, and that is just something with symmetry mode, unfortunately. So I'm going to go back out, isolate, and then deselect it to go back out. I'm going to turn off symmetry, and now when you do it, show, isolate selected, view selected, it only selects the ones. I don't know why, but that's just the way Maya is sometimes. So there, so now you can see that we can work on this a lot easier. We've just shown the polygons we want to work on. So let's get in there and build a bigger mouth bag. So first of all, we could just cut across here, but I don't want any more triangles that we can help it. So I'm just going to quickly extrude this back. So I'm just going to select these 4. I'm going to turn on symmetry again now, so we can work in symmetry mode. And let's just create some more space. I'm just bringing this back. I am moving this in like this, and let's see. So we want to create some more room. So let's see from the side here. I'm just going to, before I do that, I'm just going to move all these vertices right forward there. I'm going to add in some edge loops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to select the faces in the middle, just to give it some room, give it some cavity, and then on the bottom as well. Okay, let's get these. I could have had soft selection on, which might have been a bit easier. Let's take the strength down. Just started shaping this. You don't have to be exact, it's just a mouth bag inside. You're not going to really see it that much, but it does need to hold a space for our teeth. And obviously the main aim is to move on to animation, and you know, we need the mouth to be able to move. It needs to fit the tongue in. There you go. So as you can see, there's a lot. If I zoom inside, we've now got a lot more, and you can model inside. You know, whatever gets the job done. There we go, so that looks alright. Let's just move these in a bit, just get a bit more of a, oh, don't want to select those. There you go. We can always come back and amend this. There we go. You generally just sort of have enough tongue space for the tongue to go down and through the back in the geometry. That'll do for now. There we go. So we created a mouth bag so the teeth and the tongue can fit inside. So now I'm going to let's see the best way to do this. So we're going to go back out. So show, isolate selected, view selected, Control S to save again, very important. and we're going to create the gums first. So I want to introduce you to some new tools again, like we have. I'm trying to sort of introduce you every video, introduce something new, so you learn something new. Let's go to smooth mode and save again. So what we want to do is let's create a box for the gums. So let's bring this up and bring this forward, and we're going to create some gums and some teeth inside. So let's add some width there. The height, we want to take this down, and you can just use the scale tool if you want. It's sometimes quicker, but again, I'm just showing you this. If you want to get exact measurements, that is. And what we want here is we want quite a few subdivisions, because we're gonna bend this around. And I've gone bigger than the width of the mouth because this is going to bend around. So we just want some width to it, and this is going to hold the teeth. Let's just and that's fine for now. So I'm going to introduce you to what's called like deformations. They're called animation deformations, but we're going to use them to model with. So if we select this, I'm going to just call this gums lower, and we're going to go up to our, what I've done is I've changed to our, we're on a modeling menu. You've got all the different menus in here, and we're going to change to animation, and this brings up a deformation. This is used in animation, but it's really good to use deformers for modeling. So I just want to introduce you to the bend deformer. So if we go up to deform, and then go down to non-linear and bend, and you get this little line. If you don't see that, it's because you haven't got deformers on here. Okay, and what this does is it deforms. We've chosen a bend, and over here in our attribute editor or our channel box, we've got curvature. So if you go down to here under bend 1 curvature, you can see it bend. Now what it's doing is it's bending the wrong way, but you can see the curvature where it's here. So all you have to do is just rotate it. We're going to hold down the J key, sorry, to be able to move in increments of degrees, so it snaps into place, so we can get exactly 90 degrees, just a quick way of doing things. And you see it's still the wrong way, so we've done it 90 degrees this way. Now we need to bend it 90 degrees this way. Okay, so now you got this nice curve. Now my character's face is quite flat, so we don't need as much curvature. So I might just need something like this. And it's a really quick and easy way of getting bend. There's a lot of other deformers. Just have a play around with them, but we're just going to focus on the bend for now. That's all we need. So as you can see, really quick and easy to deform, and we can change it as we go. As long as you don't delete the history on it, we can keep bending this. Okay. So what I want to do now is at the moment we've just bent the gums. Now we want to bend the teeth as well. You can just position them by hand if you want, that's okay, but I'm going to show you how to bend the teeth into place. So we don't want to put the bend deformer on the gum geometry, we want to put a bend deformer on the whole group. So let's do that now. I'm going to delete this bend handle, and it will snap back to being straight because the history's gone. And what we're going to do is we're going to create our teeth as well. So I'm going to select all the faces along the bottom because we don't need faces on the bottom, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay, and now I'm just going to add another edge loop. We could have done this with divisions, of course, just to give it some better curvature. And that's our gums empty there. And now I'm going to do a quick Control S to save again. Go up to poly modeling. We want to be back in our, you can go back to your modeling menu set if you don't see this here, or it's in my shelf. So now we're going to create another cube, and this is going to be our first tooth. I'm going to bring this up and move it in here. I'm going to hit the F key just to zoom straight in. Now let's just shrink this down. Okay, and this is going to be, smaller than that. And I'm going to give it subdivisions, something like 3 each side. And again, we don't want the bottom faces, so I'm going to delete them all. So what you can do is just select all, and then deselect by holding down the Control key at the top. That's a quick way of just getting all the polygons on the bottom. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to scale this in a bit. You're going to have a play with this. See, when you smooth it, you get sort of a nicer sort of tooth shape. If you want, you can bring these down a little bit as well. But I do want a slightly boxy, cartoony look anyway. Yeah, that's good for me. And I'm going to move that down into place. Now I'm going to go into front view because I want this to be not in the center but just off. So let me just give this a quick name so that we know what it is first. Just tooth 01 because there's going to be quite a few of them. So I don't want this in the center, so I'm going to hit Control D and move this one up. Sorry, just going to move this one over to here and then Control D, duplicate. There's our duplicate there. Okay, because I just want it right down the center line, but you know, you don't have to be that accurate. Okay, go out into the perspective mode again. Right, and now what we can do is we can just duplicate these along now. So you can select both, duplicate, move along, select all four. I'm holding down Shift, duplicate, move along again. And you got more. Duplicate, move along, duplicate, move along. We've got too many now, but you know, let's just delete them. So let's just see how that looks. Sometimes you have to like test this out and then go back again. Delete those, and that one looks good. And I'm going to, you might want a bit of variation, so it might be better to, you know, have these front two like a little bit bigger, or they might want to be, you know, wider. It really is up to you, and you can sort of tweak and go and change it as we go afterwards as well. But the top two, obviously the top middle two are going to be a little bit bigger, but let's just see how this looks. So now we've got, if I look at this, we've got a whole group here. I'm just going to bring the gums in. They are too wide there. And let's just extend them out a little bit. Yep, that looks good to me. So let's group everything together. So you can either select everything in here, or just go over to your outliner, select the gums, and this one, and then just Control G to group it. And the group nodes at the always at the origin. So we're going to use the modify center pivot to bring it back up, and I'm going to say save again. So now we've got our lower teeth group. So let's name this lower teeth GRP. And now what we're going to do is we're going to apply the bend deformer to this whole group instead of just the gums. So make sure you go back to your animation set if you're not in there. Animation, deform, and then nonlinear bend. And there's our bend deformer. Now we know that it's going around, so hit the E key to go into rotation. Hold down the J to snap at 10-degree increments, and then add some curvature. And as you can see, it's the wrong way there. So now we need to bring it back this way, rotate it 90 degrees. There we go. Now what you want to do is you want to either group all of this together, which is probably the best thing to do, as opposed to putting this inside the geometry group. So let's just group them again. Group, lower teeth, parent group. Now you don't have to do this. In fact, you know, we'll eventually just delete the bend deformer anyway, but I'm just keeping it there for now so that we've got more flexibility, and that's key with this. Modify, center pivot, and now let's bring the, so you got, I'm not selecting anything in between, I'm selecting the top parent node here and move it back into the mouth, move it down, move it back. And now let's just put that in reference. And I think we could shrink everything down completely here. I'm just going to open this back a bit more. So now the beauty about this is that now you got it in the group node, you can rotate, you can scale, you do what we want, and the bend deformer comes with it. So let's scale this down. That looks good. And I think I'm going to move the gums or the gums up or the teeth down, and again we've still got that flexibility because everything is separate, so I can still move this around. I can move each tooth around if I want, and this is the beauty of it really. Let's just turn this smooth on this one, and I'm going to move the gums up because we are going to close the mouth. We're not going to leave it like this. We're doing this so we can model, and then we're going to close it up a little bit for rigging and animation. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to select the whole thing, move it back down. Great. Now you've got your whole lower teeth level. Okay, so let's add a little bit of color quickly, just so we can see what we're doing a bit easier. Okay, let's open up the hypershade, this one here, and I'm just going to clear what we've got from before. Let's use this little button here to clear, and I'm going to hit just a new blend, and this one is going to be gums material, and this, just give it, you know, this is all temporary just for now. Just give it like a reddish, you know, pink tone, whatever you want to use. That'll do for now. And then we're going to I'm going to select the gum, or you can do that in your outliner, and I'm going to right click, assign material to viewport selection, and we're also then going to create another material. Zoom in. It's the same as the viewport. You know, you hold down your middle mouse and Alt key and zoom in, just the same. This blend 6, we're going to call this teeth material, and let's make it sort of, you know, almost white, but just a little bit less than white. And now I'm just going to move my hypershade off screen a minute, because what I want to do is I want to select all my teeth. And now I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to assign. Okay, and I'm going to close my hypershade down. So it just gives us a little bit of more visibility, so you can see. So as you can see, it's quite a nice little sort of cartoony tooth going here. And then you can go in and edit. You know, obviously, again, you'll have a lot more time. You can go in and move things around. You know, if you've got like a beaten up character, you could have a tooth missing, you can do anything, and you've still got the flexibility to go in and select the bend handle in your outliner, go down to not here, but under bend 1 input, and change the curvature. And that's the beauty of this. You know, you can keep editing it right up until the end, and in fact you can even add another bend deformer too if you want, and get it going the other way, but we don't need that for the moment. Let's save this. So what we're going to do now is we are literally going to duplicate it and for the upper group. So let's just select the whole of this, because we don't need the bend handle, because you know, we're happy with the bend in it, and we're just going to duplicate it and move it up. So let's just give this a go. So I'm going to select all of this. I am going to hit Control D, or you just go up to edit and duplicate. Okay, so select this, duplicate, and there we go. There's our parent, and we are going to hit the rotate key, hold down the J, and spin it 180 degrees. I'm going to move this up into place. Now your front teeth come in front of your lower teeth, so something like that. For now, let's just take a look at that. There you go, set of gnashes. Yeah, not bad. So now, you know, you spend a bit more time. If I were you, maybe just extend these ones. This one a little bit longer. You might want to, you know, it might look funny with one tooth missing if he's a bit beaten up. You know, just have fun with it. There we go. That looks good. Right, now we need to do a tongue for the inside. So we've got our two teeth grouped here. I'm going to again put them on the layer, just so it helps us keep everything organized. Create layer from selected. I'm going to name this teeth. Save, and I'm just going to lock it, and I'm going to put it to reference, and let's template out the body so we can see what we're doing here. And also, these eyes are getting in my way here. Let's put them on their own layer. Create layer from selected. Eyes, just temporarily get rid of them for now, and we can see what we're doing. Save that. Now the tongue's pretty simple. We just get a cube, point and model this, bring it up into position. I'm going to hit the F key to zoom in. I am just going to like this. Let's give it some subdivisions. So let's just do the, let's do the depths first. You want to be able to bend the tongue when we rig it, so it needs a few subdivisions. Maybe one in the height and the width. Let's give it. You want to have one down the middle. You don't want to do this really. It's good to have one of your edge loops going down the middle so that you can use symmetry and things like that. So let's just shape this into more of a tongue shape. Again, we've got quite a cartoony tongue. I'm just going to move this down, start rounding this off. It's a bit like a surfboard or something, an ironing board at the moment, so let's just give it a bit more shape. So what we want to do here is we want to add like a little line down the middle, so let's select this middle edge loop, and let's see what we can do here. So now we can either bevel it or just add 2 edge loops either side. Let's just quicker to do this actually because we're already in symmetry mode. There we go, and I'm going to select all of this. We don't need it on the bottom, so I'm just going to deselect these ones. That's good. And watch what's going to happen here. So I'm just going to simply move this down, and it's going to give us a little line in the tongue. Cool. Great. We've got some bit of horrible pinching going on here, so let's zoom in and sort that out. I'm going to select the vertices, press F so I can zoom and move around it. And we want to get rid of this pinching, smooth it out a bit. There we go. So there we go. You see what I did there? So what I've done is I've moved the vertices further apart, so you get less of that pinching. It's much more apparent on the end here. So let's just move this in a bit. There we go. Cartoony sort of tongue. Let's give it a bit more shape on each side. So let's just select some faces here. Move it up. And also let's give it some width in the middle so it's not so straight. I'm going to turn on my soft selection, make it really sort of quite a big radius. Remember from holding down the B key and middle mouse dragging, and I'm going to get my scale tool and just scaling the X. Oh, we're going to actually ruin some bits here, so let's turn off symmetry and scale from the middle. There we go, that'll do for now. Let's just put this into place right up behind the teeth. So you want move tool W, you want this up behind the teeth. And our mouth is a lot wider actually, isn't it? So we're gonna let's move this right out here like this. There we go. And let's give it that same, let's just give it that gum material for now. Assign existing material, and we called it gums material. We can change this up later. There we go, sort of looking a lot more like a tongue now, but it is, we might need to, I think we need to shorten this in, don't we? So instead of just scaling it, because I like the shape at the front, let's move this up like this. And what I want to do here is I want to select these ones, these vertices at the back here, take down the radius, and I want to curl it round a little bit. Move it down. You want to get the tongue to go down the throat so you don't really see it in animation. There we go. So now if I unhide, what you see is you can see the mouth bag in here. Let me just unreference our body so you can see what's going on. And now if I, let's just select some of these vertices here, the faces, sorry, just so you can have a good look at what's going on inside now. Show, isolate, select, view selected. Oh, and obviously the tongue's going to be hidden that way, so let's just go to a 4 view. Ah, there you go. So now you can see the tongue is lovely and sort of it fills the mouth bag and comes down the back. So we definitely going to want to make this you know, mouth bag bigger, or you can make the tongue smaller. I'm just gonna bring this back, and I'm going to give us some more room on the top as well. I'm going to turn on symmetry. And then we will need to get the mouth bag going over the teeth a bit more now that we've seen it like this. So let's turn off soft selection and move this forward. So it just takes them a little bit adjusting. Once you've got your teeth and gums and tongue in place, you will need to go back and do a bit of editing. I mean, I'm sort of keeping animation in mind because obviously that's my field, character animation, so that is the end goal. Alright, that'll do for now. Let's have a little look. Great. So what we want to do now is he's got a bit of a horrible grin. Let's just test what the you know, when we move the lips apart, what they look like. So I'm going to turn on soft selection. Awesome. And there's a little thing in here that if I use soft selection, it starts to select the ones around me. When you're on the move tool, this is very useful. If you double click our transform tool here and just go to tool settings, now we've got down here soft selection, and I've got this on surface. So if I had it on the normal, look what would happen. It would move everything. So I have mine set to surface. This is really important. Mine's clever. It works out that this is a surface of like opposite polygons, and it sort of leaves them alone, so you can move these around. So just wanted to show you that it's quite important to put this soft selection on the fall off mode to surface. Okay, so let's just have a little look. So when he smiles, it might be, you know, I'm just doing this very roughly now. He might be, you know, something like. Obviously that's pretty extreme, but there you go. You can see the sort of gums and teeth underneath, so we might need to move the teeth up a bit. And so what we're going to do now is just close the mouth up a little bit. It doesn't need to be grinning like that. You know, I did that so we can model, and now we can see it, and I want to move it back, you know, just close it up a little bit. So I'm just going to turn down the radius of my soft selection and move things up a little bit. Now that we know it all works, and again we can, you know, we can keep editing as we go. There we go. So that was pretty simple. That was a pretty easy lesson. Hope you learned something new from there. Let's turn his hair and his eyes back on, so you can now see, you know, his head's, you know, really coming together here. We've got a nice shape. We've got the teeth, we've got the gums in there. So, you know, we're really progressing now. What we're going to move on to in the next lessons is we are going to start modeling the clothes. And once we've done that, we're going to texture up this little guy. We're going to learn, you know, lots of different techniques we need to UV unmap them. You know, it's a long process, but we're getting there. So I will see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Hi, I hope you're finding value so far in this free training series. So let me know in the comments, and if you can share and subscribe, we can carry on making more videos for you. Thanks very much.